What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Leafs Chatter. Today we're just going to be going through the Leafs lineup and my thoughts of how the lineup's going to look and what new changes might end up coming. As of right now, there's no new Leafs news. The only, recent news is that the Leafs and Robertson are going to be going to arbitration. They're about a little over $1 million apart, so we'll see what the number is for them. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be in and around the 1.5 to 1.7 million mark. But we'll have to see. So we'll get started first with the Leafs lineup. So right now, I just pulled up Puckpedia. Leafs lineup right now, it'd most likely look like Matthew Knies, Austin Matthews, Max Domi. That'll be your first line. I know a lot of people are shitting on that line, but I mean, it was perfectly fine when Bertuzzi was there. Matthews actually played really good. Domi was playing some of his best hockey, and now you're basically just replacing Bertuzzi with a better player, with Matthew Knies. So I can't see how this line gets worse. We'll see what ends up happening, but I think that line will be fine for now until, maybe we get a top six winger. Either Treliving pulls something off before the season starts, or maybe it's just one of those things that comes near closer to the trade deadline. We'll have to see. Second line, I think, is solid, but I think it's a little undersized. You got Nylander, Johnny T, and Michelli. I mean, we have Dakota Joshua now, who's on the third line, which I love, with Bobby McMann and Nick Waugh. That's a beefy third line. But I feel like if Michelli isn't playing his best hockey, Dakota Joshua is very versatile. You could play him anywhere in the lineup, and he's played top line minutes before. So I think he'd be a good fit on either one of those lines. If Michelli's playing like shit, swap out for Dakota Joshua, put him there. I think he brings that physical presence to that second line, which I think is lacking. But if Michelli, is playing good hockey, maybe just leave it as is. That's just what I'm saying. If it doesn't end up going Michelli's way, but as of right now, to start the season, I'm assuming that's how it's going to be. Michelli, Johnny T, Nylander, and then your third line, like I mentioned before, Joshua, Nick Waugh, and McMann. Love that line. Physical, good defensively, and has a good scoring touch. All those guys could put up anywhere from 15 goals to 20 goals. McMann will probably crack anywhere from 18 to 20. It is his contract year, so he'll probably put up good numbers. And then Nick Waugh and Dakota Joshua are bona fide 12 to 15 goal guys who will put up anywhere from 28 to 30, mid 30-ish points, depending on obviously their line. But if the connection's there with all of them and they got good chemistry, it could be a pretty solid line. The one line I don't like is the fourth line. That's just because Calle Jarnkrok's in it. I'm not a Calle Jarnkrok fan. I know a lot of people love him. I don't. I think he's kind of like a Kerfoot. They're just cardio guys. They go out there. Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife, and he could play anywhere in the lineup, but I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't have a DNA. That's the best way I could use it. Scott Lawn's got a DNA. Steven Lorentz has a DNA. Pretty much everybody on the team has somewhat of a DNA of what they bring, or at least a role that they bring. Calle Jarnkrok and Bobby McMann, both of those guys, I don't think have a role yet. Bobby McMann could score, but he just doesn't play overly physical, which I think hopefully playing with Waugh and Joshua helps him play more physical, because he's a big boy. He should be throwing hits, throwing his body around, being like a power forward type player. I didn't see a lot of that last year. And then Calle Jarnkrok, I don't know. I'd rather have Pezzetta, to be honest. I know he had no points last year, but you put Pezzetta with Lawton, who had 31 points last year, and Lorentz, who had, I think, either had 20 or just under 20 points. I think I see Pezzetta no problem getting anywhere from 12 to 15 points. Obviously, if we bring Robertson back, that might push Pezzetta out and bring maybe Bobby McMann down to that fourth line, which I'm okay with as well. But Pezzetta's going to get games. Everyone's saying that, he's fucking going to be a Marlies plug or whatever. I've seen comments like that. He's gonna be fine. I like Pezzetta. I think he's gonna be a good addition to the team, and he has a lot of energy. That's gonna be a solid shutdown line. They're all good defensively. Pezzetta, Lawton, and Lorentz. there is a little bit of scoring touch there. Obviously, more would be better, but who knows? Maybe they have a good amount of chemistry and they pot some goals in. But they're gonna crash and bang the entire fucking game. So I love that line. At the end of the day, the fourth and third line are gonna be played very similarly. We've all seen Chief likes to roll out all four lines. So the fourth line doesn't get like 5 minutes a night. Like they get up there with around the third line. So we'll see what ends up happening. But that third line and fourth line is a lot beefier, a lot more physical than what it was before. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when the season starts. Now we'll get into the decor. Decor, same as last year, nothing crazy, unless of course they decide to trade like a Brandon Carlo, which I hope to God they don't. If they get rid of a defenseman, it better fucking be Morgan Rielly. I'd be open to getting rid of Benoit. I do love Benoit, but it depends on who's coming back, right? So, I think Benoit's a great player for what he brings. But, if you have to get rid of him, and, maybe Philippe Myers is that guy that you call up, or Henry Thrun, that's okay too. I prefer not getting rid of Benoit, but, if it needs to be done to bring in, like, maybe a potential forward, I'd do it. But it most likely have to be someone with a little more value, like a Carlo. But I hope to fucking God we don't get rid of Carlo, because I do like the guy. But yeah, like your D pairs are going to be the same. It's going to be Carlo with Rielly, because fucking Rielly's got to play with somebody who's really decent, like, really good defensively, because he's fucking, you can't play him with Tanev, because you need Tanev as a nice shutdown as well. So Tanev and McCabe is perfect. OEL and Benoit, solid. And then, yeah, hopefully Rielly has a decent season. Doesn't play like absolute... Oh my God, I couldn't stand the way he was playing last year. He just didn't adapt to the Craig Berube system. He doesn't play hard. He doesn't fucking take hits. He's a bitch in my opinion. But we'll see what ends up happening. He better get something, at least like an offensive touch or some shit, because I get it happens in the playoffs, which is important, but we need that this year, because if he just shits the bed and only puts up like fucking 30 points, Marner's gone, so we need at least something from our defensemen. Like, I don't know. I think their D's fine though. I think it's perfectly fine. I would love to get rid of Rielly, but guy's got a no move, so he's probably not waiving it. But I think the D core is the same. It'll be fine. We'll see if the age factor comes into play this year with like OEL and Tanev, but I doubt it. Those guys, Tanev will probably be playing decent hockey till he's like fucking 37, and then OEL probably around the same. Like they're pretty solid and really experienced guys. They're veterans at the end of the day. And then you got our goalies. We got Stolarz and Wall. Well, it'll probably be Stolarz as the starter, unless of course something happens. Hopefully not. Hopefully Stolarz is in good health and he doesn't get injured. Same with Wall, but it's good having two good goalies like that. So, God forbid something happens to one of them, because they are injury prone. You could swap the other one in and they just pick up where the other one left off. So, the D-core is all right. The goalies, solid. I don't have any issues there. It's just, maybe a top six winger. But if this is how we're going to go into the season with cap space and with this lineup, I'm not over the moon, but it's a decent team. I think we make playoffs. Everyone that's saying we're not going to make the playoffs, I don't know what they're talking about. I think we're going to make the playoffs. But we're not winning the division. Like, unless it just kind of clicks and we have just a crazy chemistry and we just go on a hot streak and we make a push, maybe. But I wouldn't put my money on it. Let's just say that. But overall, if this is what we go into the season with, I'm not upset. I'm not over the moon, like I said, but kind of decent. We'll just leave it at that. It's a decent team for now, especially after losing a 100-point player. So I'll take what Treliving's done so far. He's definitely beefed up the team, and he's changing the DNA. He wasn't fucking around when he said that. He changed the DNA. Yeah, there's a little less scoring or point touch because Marner's gone, but I mean, you take this team that as it is right now and you find a way either before the season starts or as a trade deadline acquisition to bring in, a player with like a Kadri or like a Braden Shen, the team looks a lot different. So that's all I'm saying. But we'll see what ends up happening. I mean, it feels so far away, but I know it's gonna come by quick. Like, I just really want hockey to start, and I know a bunch of other people want the season to start too. But there's some time for Treliving to make some moves. I do think some people are on the go. You got to get rid of Kampf and you got to get rid of Yarncroke, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know how many forwards you need, especially if like Cowan makes the team, or if he ends up being an extra. Who knows? I don't know what'll happen with that. I mean, if he's just gonna be an extra the whole time, I'd rather just leave him in the Marlies. But we have a lot of players. We have a lot of forwards, to be specific. So definitely at least one of them has to go, especially if we're bringing Robertson in. We're going to have Robertson and Pizzetta as technically extras if Yarncroke's playing, so at least Kampf's got to go. But I think Kampf and Yarny should be dealt, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. And yeah, we'll go from there. Hopefully there's a splash, a nice trade at the end of the summer. That'd be huge. But we'll see what Treliving's got up his sleeves, and if he doesn't do anything, at least we'll go into the season with hopefully some cap space, depending on what we sign Robertson for, and we'll see how the season plays out. But that's it for this one, though, guys. I don't want to make this too long. I know it's probably a little longer than it should have been, but I wanted to make sure I was covering everything. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Again, more videos to come, and yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.